winning season since 2015, their first playoff win since 2005. That also happened to be against the Buccaneers. Another victory would give Washington its first NFC Championship appearance since 1991. The youngsters don't know this was a franchise that was once maybe the most respected in the National Football League, certainly on the short list. It's been a minute, but here they are. Tim Hasselbeck is with me in studio, as he is every Sunday. What a football game.
Yeah.
Let's work our way backwards from the drive led by their rookie quarterback, and as we looked at the numbers and just went through it in our minds of all the circumstances where he has led them, what has he demonstrated all season long?
I mean, listen, you and I are watching it probably with a confidence of this guy can do it. So think of how the team feels. We're talking about the number of times it's happened this year. Well, and what's interesting, and when you see him go on this drive, he obviously makes a couple big throws. Then on that 3rd and 1, when they were trying to get Tampa to jump off sides, you see him laughing, joking around. I mean, it's like there is obviously a poise about him. And then this run right here, that can't be understated. That's Elijah Cansey, who had an incredible game tonight, disrupting everybody. He's there to make the play.
He had the towel, but
Yes.
he didn't have number
The
5.
stiff arm gets him free, and then obviously, like he's escaped all year, he's able to pick up the first down, which allows them to kick that game-winning field goal with no time left. So, yeah, this was, to me, Scott, this was a game where it was like a really evenly matched game. And both quarterbacks played really well. And in fact, Daniels played well despite his team not being able to run the football. And Baker made the one mistake. Made the one mistake that you had in the highlight, where he doesn't snap the ball early enough on the fly sweep, and it's a fumble, and then that allows Washington back in the game.
And there's also a play which was not in the highlight, but it was a 3rd and very short for Tampa on the drive where they settled for a field goal. It was the snap that looked like maybe the snap count was off because
Barton, the center, I think that they stemmed to a jam front. Basically, they covered the center and both guards. They stemmed to that last minute, and I think through all of it, with young center, ball just gets snapped early and forces Tampa to kick the field goal.
right, because they tackled Irving for a loss. They didn't do that much at all in this game. Look, this is a Washington defense that is clearly not its strength. But largely tonight, outside of the drive at the end of the first half, and for the bulk of the game, they hold this Tampa offense that can hang a big number on you to 20. I think it'll get lost, but as much as anything, this Washington defense helps win this game, doesn't it?
I think that's a great observation from the standpoint of this, too. You know, we've talked so much about Daniels, and rightfully so. He's been incredible. Look what Dan Quinn has done. I mean, like, Dan Quinn is the head coach because of what he's done on the defensive side of the ball, just making it work. Guys competing, you know, and that's what they've done. And then bringing in guys that maybe other people thought, that guy can't run anymore, but are still playing at a pretty high level, and they've won a playoff game.
Look, in the 4th down conversation, like whatever the analytics and the graphic of whichever network it is, it's always going to say go. As long as you're consistent, right? Dan Campbell's like, you know we're going to go for it. And this Washington team, they're going to go for it. Sometimes tonight it didn't work. It did enough. And in the end, they're able to stoink one off the upright and get a victory. More conversation to come. First, Jeff Darlington with the winning quarterback from Washington. What a rookie year for him.
Well, Jaden, the first rookie quarterback to go and win on the road in more than a decade in his first NFL postseason start. How does that feel?
It's nothing but a blessing. Can't complain, can't put words to it. I just got to credit my team and God.
What was it like? What was the experience like for you, and how did it differ from the regular season?
It was awesome. I mean, the playoffs are amped up a little bit more. Obviously, you can feel the energy, the electricity in the stadium. And, you know, it means a little bit more.
So now you've gotten one under your belt. How can that sort of shift to the next one in your experience? That man right there looks like he's happy.
Man, I mean, you got to take it one game at a time, one play at a time. Use the momentum. We'll see where it takes us.
What do you think about the performance of this guy on this side of the ball?
He did all right. I mean, he picked up the ball out on the ground. You know, helped us out a little bit, but, you know, he did his thing.
Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate you.
That's just who the guy is. And again, knowing some of the folks within the organization, Tim, this has been the conversation from May through the season. No moment's too big. There's a confidence, but not an arrogance. There's a calm that never seems like, I mean, I don't think he's impressed by this. Now, look, you got to go to Detroit. It's going to be a hell of a mountain to climb, but they get to go try to climb it. I mean, for an organization that's been adrift, this step forward represents what?
I mean, just think about the changes that have happened in the organization.
Yeah.
Recent, I mean, you know, new ownership might be like, this is easy. Why don't we get into this earlier? It was like, yeah, if you hire the right coach, who will do the right thing, you know, culturally with the team, and then obviously get the right guy at the quarterback position. Because, listen, it's one thing to have a really talented young quarterback, but it's another thing to have a guy like Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Bobby Wagner, after that game, sitting there looking at his young quarterback like, wow, man, you just did this.
And you hear what the young quarterback said about him? Yeah, he picked up the ball and was lying on the ground. That's their Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee who's going to have a gold jacket, and he's just giving him the needle a little bit. It's a remarkable night for this franchise that has been, as I said, it's been adrift for quite a while.